Alrighty. Welcome to a 2 in the morning edition for Eastern Standard Time to the No Agenda Hockey Podcast. It is currently episode 8. My co-host Chief, how you doing, my friend?
Dude, I have got a boner you wouldn't believe.
We got a lot of we
Sorry.
got a we got a lot of interesting trades going around. It's completely fine. The trade deadline kind of solves a lot of erectile dysfunction.
It
Uh,
does.
so trade that just kind of came down. Brock Nelson to the Colorado Avalanche, and let's look at here the trade, and we're gonna go kind of right to the list here. I'm gonna zoom this in a little bit. So, the Colorado Avalanche acquire Brock Nelson and William Dufour from the New York Islanders for forward Callum Ritchie, defenseman Oliver Killington, and a
Shillington.
Killington and a first
No, it's
Shillington.
actually Shillington. Yeah.
It's
Go
Shillington.
fucking figure. Yeah.
That's weird. That's weird. Okay,
Yeah, I
Shillington,
did.
a first round pick in the 2026 or 27 NHL draft, and a third round pick in the 2028. So shouldn't be too much of a surprise there. Brock Nelson's kind of been rumored to be moved, and the Islanders aren't necessarily in a situation where they're going to go on a deep run. But I think this is a very solid pickup there for the Avalanche. What did you think of this trade?
I am over fucking joyed.
Hmm.
I looked at the they already had the projected lineup. He's second line center. He's with Drouin and Big Val.
Hmm.
And that second line is just yeah. I
Oh,
was
and
so like,
Shillington was traded to the Ducks
yeah, he went to the Ducks right after.
for future considerations. Okay, that's
Yeah.
kind of funny. So he got like a cup of coffee in Colorado. He got a cup of coffee. It was just dealt over from
Yeah.
New York. I mean, the
And he
big piece
wasn't
here.
bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big guy here is Brock Nelson. Like, are you going
Yeah.
to be getting a guy that you know, kind of clicking on here? I mean, 43 points on the season. Let me pick up his stats.
He scored 30 plus goals in the past 3 seasons.
Yeah, 43 points. So 20 goals, 23 assists, 43 points, 61 games played this year. When you kind of go down, he's last season 34, season before that 36, then 37. This year 20. If you could get red hot with the Avalanche, which seems like a lot of people do, uh, maybe he flirts with 25 plus, maybe 30. Uh, but I really like this move. I think Brock Nelson is a solid piece in what the Avalanche are trying to do. Uh, I love this move for the Avalanche. You know,
Uh, it makes it puts my mind at ease having to go against Dallas, Vegas, and Winnipeg
mm,
because I also looked at the after this deal was done, I looked at the power play pairings on. Your first power play is going to pretty much remain unchanged, except for the fact that Big Val's I think going to go to the second. He's going to power play too, because
right.
it's McCarr, McKinnon, Lehkonen, Natchez. Yeah, that's everybody.
And by the
I
way,
think.
appreciate you
Yeah,
popping
Lehkonen.
in, Sean, and appreciate popping in sports stats. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, because he's going to be on the power. Brock Nelson's going to be on power play too with Big Val, Druin, Middlestad, and Tays. That's a pretty good fucking power play too.
yeah, I mean, I
Not
think
a lot
that.
of there's drop off, but not a lot.
Well, I think overall this adds much needed scoring depth for the Avalanche, where you're not just relying on like a McKinnon and Natchez and line to carry it. I like the move quite a bit. Uh,
Yeah,
the
the
only go ahead.
no, the only thing I didn't like was we gave up Richie.
Yeah.
I saw that kid play about the first 8-10 games of the season. God, I liked him.
Mm,
I really liked him, and I was actually talking to my one of my good friends from high school is a big Islander fan,
hmm
and he just goes, I got a message after the trade came across. He just says, "You're welcome, Dick."
I
And I
mean,
said,
that's funny.
and I said, dude, you're not completely getting fleeced in this deal, dude. You're getting Callum Ritchie. Kid's 20. He's just gonna get better. He's going to get you 20 to 30 goals a season, probably 70, 80, 90 points.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be solid. He's just a baby.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong. It takes some time to kind of develop at the NHL level. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
as easy as people like to claim it is, right? Like
No.
you have those phenoms that come in when they're very young, and it's
Mm-hmm.
rare. They'll come in and they'll hit the ground running, but like for example, Celebrini's had a hell of a year this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not the normal, man. It's
No.
sometimes it takes some years in the AHL, sometimes it takes a couple years at the NHL level where you kind of go like a fourth line, third line role and develop into that top six.
Yep.
It's just gonna take very very interesting to kind of see how things pan out. So I think we both agree. I think this is a very good trade for both sides.
I think so too.
Colorado's trying to win, and the Islanders they get some youth, and
Yeah.
that's never a bad thing.
No. And I think that kid's going to be good for a while.
Yeah.
Is he going to be, Macklin celebrating? No. But he's going to be one of these dudes that you can rely on. Like, just a guy like Matt Duchene, who's going to score goal. He's going to score your goals. He's going to get you points. He's going to be flashy or pretty about it. No, he's going to get it done.
Oh, and a trade just kind of came in. I'm just gonna have to put like NHL trades because there's gonna be some. It's definitely gonna start kicking off here. Edmonton Oilers acquired defenseman Jake Wallman from the San Jose Sharks for a conditional first-round pick in the 2026 NHL Draft, and forward Carl Berglund. Wallman traded to Oilers by Sharks. So, I mean, Oilers kind of add some defensive depth. Conditional. Let me see what they
And
have
Trent
here.
Frederick. Sorry.
You're a dick because now I can't even focus. That's such a dick comment. Um, so defenseman has a career high 32 points. I mean, he was playing with San Jose. That team, as we all know, is kind of going through that rebuilding phase. I'm kind of interested to see. So if the first round pick in 2026 draft is in the top 12, Edmonton can instead send the San Jose its first round pick in the 27 draft. However, the Oilers trade their first round pick in 2027 draft prior to the 2026 NHL trade deadline. Then their first round pick in the 2026 draft will automatically be sent over to the Sharks. That's interesting.
Wow.
That's an interesting way of wording that
That
deal.
is.
I've never. There's definitely probably been some trades like that. That's just interesting, right? That's peculiar.
That's not your garden variety, getting a first round pick scenario.
Yeah. Wallman has an NHL career high of 32 points, 6 goals, 26 assists in 50 games this season. His first with San Jose. The 29
How old is he?
29-year-old defenseman has one
Okay.
season remaining on a 3-year, $10.2 million contract, 3.4 annual average. That's actually a really good bargain, right? That's a
Yeah.
really good bargain considering the cap's going up next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a nice little move.
That is a nice move.
That is actually a nice little move. And
Pretty
let's
sneaky.
see. So Wallman went to San Jose for nothing over the summer. And then Sports says, do you believe the Leafs will do anything? Well, I think some minor moves, unless they kind of move a bigger contract piece. It's just, I think the Leafs are hamstrung a bit by their current cap constraints.
Yeah.
So
They'd
that's
have
kind of
to-
the
they'd-
problem there.
They'd have to. It's mainly just bottom line guys is what they'd be trading for right now. More depth scoring or anything like that.
Kind of talking about another trade that kind of went down, a lesser deal. The Minnesota Wild acquire forward Justin Brazeau from the Boston Bruins for forward Marat.
Yeah.
Good
luck.
Dude, I like. Hold on. I gotta,
Marat.
and Jacob Blanco in a 6th-round pick in 2026 NHL draft. So, Sean, I'm going to actually encourage you to put the correct pronunciation down in, phonetically, down in the chat, because I've already kind of butchered it. I know you put it on the Facebook group, but, yeah, so the interesting piece here for me is the Russian kid, right? I'm just going to say it that way. The Russian kid, has a pretty good ceiling. Is kind of underperformed there with the Wild. I mean, he's young. I don't really like saying underperform with a young guy, but there's some potential there for him to be something. And considering Justin Brazeau was a ECHLer that the Bruins transformed into an NHL guy, I think this is a fantastic return. Am I saying Murat is going to be a guy that's a 50 goal scorer in this league? Probably not. But you get a prospect, you get Jacob Lauko back, who, while yes, he probably you want more there offensively from him at times, but I appreciate his hustle, and you get a 6th round pick. And considering like this is a guy you picked up for free,
Yeah,
and like my thing is with Justin Brazeau, I'll just say this, and I love the story, but my man, like I feel like I'm faster on skates than Brazeau. He just
wow.
he lags behind the play quite a bit, like, and I'm out of shape. Just got a hip surgery done a couple of years ago, right? Completely out of shape. I feel like I could out hustle Brazeau at times. He's just very slow. Now he has his good attributes. He's very good in front of the net, very soft hands. That's why he was so lethal. It was at North Bay Battalion when he played in juniors because nobody can move him and he had good finishing. And you could kind of see those glimpses, but because of his lack of speed, it just
It hurt him.
you have to put him in the right situation with like a heavier team. I talked to Sean, who actually we did a show on this channel a day ago, and I think like I agreed with him. Like a team like Florida or like a bigger team that's a little bit slower, doesn't really rely on the quick transition. Probably somewhere he could really flourish. But I think for this return is really, really, really good. Um, yeah, I mean exactly. I'm in the shape of a pear, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's I'm not in shape. I am a shape. But
You are the king.
what did you think of the move of Brazil being dealt and what they acquired back?
I thought it was interesting when I first saw it,
Excuse me. Hmm.
and I kind of had to do a little deeper dive because, I do watch your team quite a bit just due to the fact that girlfriend's a Bruins fan,
Right.
and
Great taste.
yeah, well, I have my moments. Um, but at first I wasn't really 100% sure, and then I kind of took a deeper dive, and I was like, yeah, yeah. Once I kind of just looked at all the numbers and whatnot, I think you
Yeah.
guys definitely got a better end of this deal.
I do too, and it kind of deads that narrative to me. So like, people like to say that Don Sweeney's the worst general manager of all time, and yada 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 yada. Like this guy, Don Sweeney makes good trades. Like you can talk about the draft picks, and even that I think is overblown at times because we're still talking about the 2015 NHL draft that happened a fucking decade ago. Um, but it's no, I'm sorry, it's a fucking a dead entire
No,
fucking
yeah,
take. It's a casual take. When you look into what Sweeney has fucking done, the guy has built very good teams and helped the Bruins stay in contention to win cups. Right? I mean, for fuck's sake, when the Bruins lost pieces, even the last couple of years, they remained towards the top end of the Atlantic, which
yeah,
nobody expected them to be. Right? So to me, Don Sweeney again has another nice trade here, and again, like Sean puts, outstanding, an ECHL guy that's valued at a 4th round pick. That's impressive. Like
yeah,
that's what you were able to get, and this is a guy that kind of went a couple different organizations. Bruins get him pretty much off the streets, and then you're able to trade assets for him and prospects, and an NHL level player back. That's a fantastic value.
yeah.
So. Um,
I think Sweeney gets shit on because everybody like they want the blockbuster move.
But he's done that though. Like
Yeah, well,
that's
he
the problem.
has,
Like
and he has.
he's done that with Aginla. He did that with
Hmm.
Rick Nash. He's done
Yeah,
that multiple times. I mean, even when we got Hampus, like there's so many different moves Sweeney has
yeah.
made, and people are just so
Biased.
there's so recency biased. It drives me insane.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Rant on,
Um,
brother.
it's just it's such a stupid fucking take I see by so many brain dead fucking morons that like I don't care at this point.
Are you
It's
channeling your inner me?
dude, I can't stand it. Like, oh, Don Sweeney's terrible. I'm like, listen, is he the best GM in the league? Probably not, right? I think Zito with Florida, what he's been able to do, I think he's the best general manager in the league. But to
Yeah.
just sit here and say, I mean, do we not remember what was it, Harry Sinden that was here before? Like Peter Chiarelli when he
Ooh.
like they won a cup with Chiarelli. Don't get me wrong, but like let's kind of think back. Chiarelli kind of fucked the Bruins in a lot of different contracts, and I don't know. Just sorry, it's a rant.
No,
It's a
no,
rant.
no, you're good.
Um, but it's I can't. God, it just makes me want to chomp on a cyanide pill. Anyways, uh, but genuinely, go back to you. So what is your thoughts overall? Pretty decent deal there.
I thought it was a solid deal. I think you guys got the better value of it.
Yeah.
Um, which, but what left me thinking one thing is why? I mean, the Minnesota Wild, just why?
I think there's something
Right?
there. I think there's something there.
Right?
I think Lauko probably just wasn't working out there with the Wild, and I like Lauko's hustle. He's a good fourth line guy in my opinion. So I'm kind of glad to see him back. And then I think with the prospect, it wasn't working out, and I think a change of scenery was needed. I think they
Yeah.
like Brazeau's bigger physical frame, and I think again, you put him with the right line combination,
Mm-hmm.
Brazeau maybe scores like a 20-point type season, right? Like he's a effective player. I'm not
Yeah.
saying he's not effective. I think for what the Bruins are trying to do, they're trying to look at other prospects and try to look at youth and try to put a little bit more speed into the lineup. He just doesn't fit with what the Bruins are trying to create now.
No. Um, my only other question is the Russian kid. Is he going to go to the baby Bruins or will he stay with the big team?
Honestly, I'm gonna have to. Let me kind of share this tab here over here. Let's see if it's kind of popping up on screen. Let me see here. Gotta love ads. It's crazy. So that's going to be the interesting piece here. See you later. Let's see. Another ad. Is he NHL right now? I don't think so. I think he's non-roster. Yeah. He's down in the minors. So, um, that would be interesting. I think he's an RFA at the end of this year. Maybe they give him a look. That's going to be kind of the interesting thing there. Let's give him a look. Um, Sean says, nope, fourth line center right off from the jump. I mean, that could definitely be a thing. Oh, wait. You there? I think I lost Chief. You there? Wait, what? What?
Sorry, brother. This thing kicked me out like twice.
Okay, because there's like two Chiefs in the room. That's why I was confusing me.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Um,
it unceremoniously beat me out of the room like, I was fucking Lucic's old lady. So
Corpusello. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I'm
Is that
glad you
actually?
didn't hear that.
I did hear that actually.
Just moving on.
Wait. Corpusello moving back to L.A. Is that true?
Wait, what?
Corpusello moving back to L.A. Is that true?
Oh, Schnitzel.
I don't see anything about that. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to kind of see with that kid how things go. Kind of going back. Kind of wanted to let me share this tab for you because you'll probably be super excited to see this. Elliot Freeman at 2:08 a.m. I respect the hustle. Rantanen. Hearing Stars and Hurricanes have framework of a deal. We will see an extension over the few hours. Dude, that's... So if he goes to the Dallas Stars as an Avalanche fan, how are you feeling, my friend?
Oh, fuck me in the goat ass. To paraphrase Adam Sandler. Dude, that's bad. That's really bad. That's fucking Armageddon, Bruce Willis bad.
Would you be pretty disappointed if you can't grab him?
I don't think we can. I mean, just anybody but in the anybody not in the Western Conference can have Rantanen.
Yeah.
Jesus. When you first had mentioned that, I was just like, fucking hell. Because he's obviously gonna be probably on the first line.
Right.
So that put him with who?
Kind of going into... Let me pull up the depth charts, actually.
Yeah.
Real quick, and I'll kind of go into it with the Stars. So, Can we just agree that Carolina, that was like one of the worst trades I've ever seen, considering like
Okay,
they're getting
can
from
I tell you something? So this is what I was going to tell you earlier. So I kind of blamed the Stars management for not doing their homework.
you mean the Carolina?
Or Carolina, yeah, sorry. Carolina not doing their homework. Thank you for correcting me. Um, they know how Rob Brindamore coaches. At one point, do they say, okay, is he going to fit with what Brindamore's system is?
Right. I mean, that's a fair point. You know what I mean?
Because that's what I was going to ask. I was just thinking about that when I was just looking through all the trade deadlines, trade rumors and so on
Yeah.
about how he could be moved, and I thought, is he just is Rob Brindamore's style not this? I mean, not conducive to how Miko plays because if you think about it, when he was in Colorado under Bednar, that system fit him just fine to the point where he scored a lot.
Right. I mean, I think I think with Rantanen, I agree. There's some lack of research regarding how would I put this? Probably his style of play. Now I was kind of expected like Aho and Svechnikov that there will be something going on there. I'm just slightly I am surprised how poor it's been in some regard, and it does make me wonder: can stars actually flourish in that Kane system? Right. So it's like the one thing with
You
Brindamore is
nailed
that
it.
like Brindamore plays a great team defense, and I love it for that. But can his stars actually flourish? Can they allow to be playing in a system that allows them to have such prolific offensive numbers? Now again, you're playing with Nathan McKinnon, and you
Kale
go from
McCarr.
McKinnon and Kale McCarr. You go from some of the best players in the NHL to no disrespect to the Canes, but there's nobody near that level of talent on the Canes roster.
Not even close.
And I do believe that Rantanen is somewhat of a benefactor of playing with such elite talent, but I also do believe in his own right he's a star level player, right?
Yeah.
I think he could be a point per game player pretty much anywhere. Now, personally, and we've had this discussion before, I actually think it was kind of dumb on him to not try to work some like sweetheart deal to stay in
Mm-hmm.
Colorado so they could stay in contention, but that is what it
Yep.
is. But if indeed he goes to the Stars and what Sean says is hints would be a part of the return. Kind of
Really?
that. I mean, that would be interesting to see. But
I mean, it's got to be more than just that, though.
yeah, but like, how would I put this? Uh, where is he? Because I know he's dinged up. Am I just blind? No, he's right there. Um, it would be interesting to kind of say like if Rope Hintz is the guy. Um, Genuine opinion. Who do you think's better, Rope Hintz or Rantanen?
Rannon.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
Hintz is a great player. He's solid.
yeah,
Um, I mean, and looking what you have pulled up cap wise, it makes the most sense
yeah, because you're gonna have to make something work. And
because you're not trading Jamie Benn in his advanced age.
no, you're gonna get zero return from him. I mean,
Yeah.
right now, kind of, I'll share this tab. Hints in 57 games played, 25 goals, 25 assists for 50 points. You're kind of getting a guy that's like with the relative same value at the age of 28. I think Rantanen is the
29.
better. Yeah, Rantanen's the better player
Yeah.
in that regard, but I think you're getting some like if you're the Canes, you're able to kind of get off that Rantanen contract, and with Rope Hintz, he's got 6 more years left on that contract.
I mean, it makes sense.
Like
The
yeah,
numbers make sense. Um, yeah. Can you pull up what the line combos are as of right now? Pre potential trade.
yeah. So like right here, um, I don't know how accurate this is. Let's see. Hold on. Hintz, 2 number ones and a prospect would be my opinion.
That's I'm I'd say Hint's a number one in a prospect.
I think kind of looking at the lineup, you got Jason Robertson, Rope Hintz, Michael Granlund, which was a smart deal. That's a guy I wanted the Bruins to actually target.
Because
for
you're
the
gonna have to
Shark.
move Granlund to center and put Rantanen on the wing.
And then you got Marshman, Duchesne, Bork. Then you got, I mean, you could move up Wyatt Johnston because Wyatt Johnston. I don't know how accurate these are step charts because yeah, Wyatt Johnston, Matt Duchesne. I mean, they could afford because like look at the point totals here. You got Duchesne 62 points, Johnson 57. Rope Hintz is 50. So I mean, honestly, they could afford to kind of give up a center to get a wing.
Yeah.
And I just think you kind of move guys up. And even with that move, I mean, obviously you're getting a guy like Rantanen. There's going to be some quality pieces overall. Like the strengths of the strength of the Dallas Stars. Let's not kid ourselves. Is that is that depth?
Yes.
Like, is they're going to score lines 1 through 4?
Yeah.
Not shocked if Wyatt goes too. I think if I will say this: if Carolina deals Rantanen and gets Rope Hintz and Wyatt Johnston, they win that trade.
Oh, hands down.
Like, because you're getting Wyatt Johnston is how old is he?
He's a baby still.
He's 20. He's gonna be turning 21.
Yeah.
Rope Hintz is 27. I think they'd win that deal.
Oh, they'd win that deal. Well, okay, if it's Rantanen for Hintz and Wyatt Johnson, there's no draft picks. There can't be.
No, if it's Rantanen, no, unless Carolina gave up draft picks for that. But
Yeah.
then we also have to kind of look into what's Carolina's cap situation generally. Actually, they have I mean I don't because looking at Rantanen's deal, that just
Because we're eating half that.
4.6 so. I don't think cap wise that would make sense unless you kind of
No.
you'd have to move some pieces around to make that work.
Yeah.
I mean, they could trade a guy like Orlov, say, hey, send it, fuck it. But I don't know.
I mean, and Orlov would fit very well in Dallas.
Yeah, but Dallas actually has a very good decor, so I don't know if
They
they
do
want
have
to
a
mess
very
with it. I don't know if they want to mess with that.
Well, I mean, if you look at it,
Excuse me.
when you get down there,
Yeah, like
I mean, Orlov. Would you rather have Orlov or Cody Ceci?
I mean, that's not even a fucking question. I would rather have Orlov than Cody
Yeah.
Ceci.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Orlov than Matt Dumba.
Yes, I think anybody would rather have Orlov and Matt Dumba.
I'm not a big Matt Dumba fan, so.
No, I'm not either.
But
Well, wait. So
because Heiskanen, how long is he out for? And then
this is starting to turn into NHL 25 trades. But would you go if you're Carolina? Would you go Cody Ceci, Wyatt Johnson, and Rupe Hintz for Orlov and Rantanen?
say it again.
Okay, Dallas has given up Hintz,
Mhm.
Wyatt Johnson,
Mhm.
and Cody Ceci for Orlov and Rantanen.
And then I would want a first round pick. If I'm giving up, this is the thing. If I'm giving up Rope Hintz and Wyatt Johnston, and I'm only getting Rantanen back as a forward, I want a pick back as well. Like that's because I think. So this is the thing: is we all like 25% of these first round picks succeed at the NHL level, like play over 100 games or something. Like it's like a first round pick's not a guarantee to get an NHL star. It's just not. It's a crapshoot.
Oh.
And you're giving up like bona fide star level type players for an uncertain thing. You know what I mean?
Okay. Now let me just modify that. Or would you take, say, one of the top prospects in the Carolina organization over a draft?
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, I mean, it just I would have to kind of look into the system, but Sean's all hell yeah for that deal. I don't think it makes in my print just my personal opinion. I just wouldn't want to give up two very good players
Yeah.
that for just an uncertainty, and then if you sign Rantanen long term, cool. But this is another question: is and Carolina is not Dallas is not Carolina, I should say. Can he succeed outside of McKinnon to
Yeah.
the same level of degree? That is a genuine question you got to have.
Hmm. It is.
And Sean says it's got to be a
And
top two prospect. Agreed. Like if you're making that
yeah.
type of trade, that
Hmm.
it's got to be a
Well,
heavy
and
prospect.
I've heard through the grapevine that Miko could come back to Colorado for about 10.5 to 11 million.
If I am Miko Rantanen, unless it's with Dallas, I guess I don't know if I'd sign an extension unless yeah, it comes down to the money, right?
Yeah.
Because
Because
I think he was given a fair offer by the Avalanche, and
mhm.
he's probably kicking himself now.
Oh, I'm
And
sure he is. And
you
that's
know, I,
why. That's why, from what I've heard from a couple folks that are sort of close to the have their ear to the wall,
mhm.
they said Randa could come back for they would offer anywhere up to 11.5.
It isn't bad. I mean,
No, that's solid money.
so I think that's kind of
And if they could retain most of the team they have now and add Rantanen for next season,
he was
um,
offered 11.5 by 8, but I think because they already offered them that, I think Sean, this is the thing that I think Randon understood. Like you go to Carolina and then you're like, oh shit.
yeah,
Sometimes you need a reset. And I'll say this personally, like outside like my career, sometimes the grass is always greener, right? I went to New York
hmm,
City to make a bunch of money. But then there was a lot of toxicity involved in it, right? So until you kind of live the experience, like, oh shit, maybe the grass isn't greener, maybe a little extra
yeah,
money, but there's peace of mind there.
hmm,
That could kind of play into it.
yeah. And
Um,
I mean, it's also like I mean, I understand how Brock Nelson felt. That's the Islanders are the only team he's ever known. Same
yeah,
thing with Rantanen.
100%. I
Same thing with
think
Rantanen.
um, so. Outside of Dallas, we'll just kind of talk about this. And it looks like Dallas, the deal is going to materialize from according to Elliot Freeman. Outside of Dallas, what would be a great destination for him to go?
Us,
Colorado, but we'd say Colorado. Anywhere
yeah.
else? Anywhere else?
Any for he would be disgusting in Edmonton, but they don't have the money.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
know,
could you imagine that line of Draisaitl, McDavid, and Rantanen? Ugh.
just hand him the cup.
Yeah, that's the guy.
You know
I
what
mean,
though? You know where I think would be a perfect fit, but it would never happen because it's same conference.
what?
Matthew Kachuk's out, right? Might be out till playoffs. There is no salary cap in the playoffs.
No.
Florida Panthers. Like I think that'd be a phenomenal fit. It would kind of replace a star level type player in
Yeah.
Florida, and then you're able to kind of just how shall I put this? Playoff time have another lethal weapon, and you have
Mm-hmm.
no state income tax, right?
Nope.
You got got a nice sun, right?
Yeah.
There's some benefits there. I think Florida, but I don't know what Florida would have to give up, and I don't think Florida's willing to give up the pieces that a team like Dallas apparently might be willing to
Yeah.
give up to, because if he goes to Florida, it's just a pure rental, right? So there's different
Yeah.
value there. Like if
Yeah.
it just kind of depends on what Dallas is offering. It won't happen for that reasoning, but
I mean, outside of the teams you mentioned, I mean, because Edmonton's not a realistic choice, but outside of Florida and Colorado, do you really see another team that he would gel with?
Sean says Utah. I think Utah's a little too.
I see. As much as I like Miko Rantanen and I liked his abilities, I like what he did when he was with my team. he can't be the guy. I don't think he can be the guy.
I'm admittedly leaning that way myself, but I will say I think some of this might be Brenda Moore's system though.
Yeah, it could be.
It's I mean, Utah's got 27 million in cap space available.
Yeah, you want to pay him 15 million a year?
Six.
Yeah, why not?
Six. I mean, that would be interesting. Utah with some of the talent there, but
I mean, it definitely gives him more oomph, makes him a little more respectable for damn sure.
Are the Bruins giving up on the playoffs? Yes, that's already been kind of. Yeah, they are.
I didn't want to say that.
No, they are. No, but like my thing is, I've argued for them to give up on the playoffs for a while now, because if you watch this team night in night out, you understand this team's not that good. Hurts me to say that, but they're not that good. Outside of Morgan Geekie and David Pastrnak, there's not much secondary offense.
No.
Brad Marchand is a shell of what he used to be. And it's understandable because of the amount of surgeries this man has had gone through. But the Bruins aren't a good team right now. And
no.
I made a video on it earlier. The only guys that I feel like are untouchable currently on the Bruins roster is David Pastrnak. Even though some Bruins fans like, trade him. I'm like, you're smoking crack. Matthew Patra, because he's young, and I think there might be some potential there. I could be wrong on that, but there could be some potential there.
I like that kid.
I do too. I think if he gets in the weight room, adds some weight, he'll be.
Yeah, he needs about 10, 15 pounds more muscle on him, and then.
Agreed. Elias Lindholm, just because you sign that contract, you're not going to be able to move him, right? And I think he'll have a better year in year two. And
I think Morgan Geekies might have been the best, maybe the best guy in your team outside of who's not named Pastrnak.
I agree. I mean, Morgan Geekie has, and it's crazy considering he kind of started off the season slow.
I liked him when he was with Seattle.
Yeah.
I thought he was good then.
And then on defense for me, it would be Carlo, even though he might get moved, but I think Carlo shouldn't be moved because I like him. I like him a lot. Carlo, Lohrei because he's young, you know, McAvoy and Lindholm. Hampus Lindholm, we'll see. I mean, there might be a chance he's never the same because he was rehabbing, came back, and then, you know, now he's going to need surgery. So Hampus Lindholm, that might be turned into an LTIR thing for a long time. But McAvoy, outside, you know, Jeremy Swayman because of the contract he signed. But everyone else on this roster, including Brad Marchand, should be on the table to be moved.
Yeah.
If I'm the Bruins and I'm doing my due diligence, you know, that's kind of what I think would be the best fit for the team. Like, just everybody's available within reason. And I'm not saying sell every piece, but let's say somebody comes for, like, let's say a contender comes for Charlie Coyle, right? And you're able to get like a first round pick for Charlie Coyle, which, you know, honestly, that could be the comp right now because you're seeing all these trades happen and like players of relatively the same amount of production or around the same amount of production going for first round picks. You could get a first round pick for Charlie Coyle. I say you take that deal.
Yeah.
And
I still fucking hate him.
Pavel Zacha, same thing, right?
Ooh, really?
Listen, I think Pavel Zacha has value, and again, I don't want them to get rid of everybody. I think Pavel Zacha probably least likely to move because him, Geeky, and Pastrnak are the only line that scores on this fucking team. So I'd be fine with keeping Pastrnak, but I think they gotta find pieces to fit Elias Lindholm's game.
Yeah.
They don't have that right now. You know,
I've told you this in the past. I still think I wish you guys would have pushed harder for Bertuzzi.
We did. That was purely Tyler Bertuzzi's fault for thinking this man was a $10 million player. I mean, he has wrists made of glass. He's always injured. Like, call it what it is. And I mean, he fumbled the bag. That's on Bertuzzi. That was stupid on his part because Sweeney was going to offer him a solid deal, but instead of being smart and, you know, kind of going back to a team where you know, looked pretty damn good with and probably would have played with David Pastrnak, you're gonna
Yeah.
be a fucking moron,
A
and
greedy
it
douchebag.
blew up in your face.
Yeah.
Um, do you believe Koshnitkov
The
fits the
Russian
fourth
kid.
line? Fits the fourth line. Um, I think yeah. I think he'll fit. I think there could be a little bit more upside there. If I'm the Bruins right now, not to make this just a Bruins stream, but if I'm the Bruins right now, elevate Johnny Beecher, let him play in a third
Yep.
line role. I like his speed. I like the
Hmm.
person generally, and
I
he
like
was the
his
first.
tenacity.
Yeah, I think personally, you give him a little bit more weapons around him. I think Johnny Beecher could be a solid third line type player, and I think
Score you 15 or 20.
yeah, I mean probably around 10, 15, right? But I think Johnny Beecher, there's more there, and I
Yeah.
is he ever going to be an all star? Probably not, but I
No.
think he could be an adequate third line player. And if you surround him a little bit more talent, a little bit more finish around him, I think you could see an increase in his point totals. And then you let the young kid see and see how he fits.
Yeah.
That surname can cure dyslexia or cause it, either or. Um, talking about Trent Frederick Beecher bumps to left wing three, let him play his offensive game, and I agree. I think
Yeah.
give Beecher the time and opportunity to succeed. I want to ask this: Brad Marchand's been rumored to be in possible trades and things of this nature. What do you think of Brad? Like, do you think the Bruins should move Brad Marchand?
I I want to say no because I'm not really sure what they would get in return.
Considering some of the pieces that have gone around, I think you could maybe get a second for him, or if a team's really desperate, like second or third, maybe a couple picks. But
Well, I
I,
mean, would you trade him to the Devils since Hughes is gone?
I mean, I don't think he's fast enough to fit with their game
Yeah.
anymore. And it's just a shame because I'm not trying to besmirch the play. I loved Brad Marchand in his prime. I love him as a player.
But he's just not the same dude
He's not
anymore.
the same dude. Sean says starts with the first round pick. Um, if Marchand gets traded, you lose leadership and the mentor, and I think that'll miss him a lot. What's going on, Simplicity? I'm feeling pretty good. Can't complain. Um, and it has to be a contender. I mean, as for Marchand losing leadership, I mean, I'm
Mm,
gonna get I'm gonna get some flack for this. I don't think he's captain material personally.
same.
I love Brad Marchand. I think as an A, it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think his temperament in the way I just again I love what he's done for the team. He's helped the team win a cup when he was very young. I think
Yeah.
he's helped the Bruins be very good for a very long time. That quote unquote perfection line, the corniest line name in all of hockey, but like. And some of that could be reputation playing into it, but like it's kind of hard to respect a guy regardless if it happened in the past. Like it's hard to respect a guy as a captain when he was like licking guys and shit. Like it's just it's
Yeah.
a it's a weird thing there. And
It's like if you made Sean Avery captain.
he's a great player and he's a great person off the
Yeah.
ice. I want to make that very clear. He does a lot in the
Yeah.
community. He's a great human being, but just as a leader, I don't see it.
He's one of those guys that's meant to wear the A.
Agreed. I think
You know.
he can be a part of a leadership group.
Yeah.
He just can't be the leader, in my opinion.
No.
And
He's because he's like you have the grandfather, the wizened old man that just mentors and so on. And I always looked at Brad Marshall like the crazy uncle.
that's what I was gonna say. The crazy uncle that don't like, yeah, the crazy uncle that had a bunch of
Yep.
wild stories.
Yeah, the cool crazy uncle that always take you out and get you shit faced, and just would always look after you, but might get you in a little bit of trouble.
You know, and I'm not blaming Marshawn solely for this, but some of the locker room shenanigans and problems reported, whatever. If there's smoke, there's fire. But I think some of the reports were definitely not true. But I think overall, just some of the stuff I'm seeing on the ice, it didn't happen with like Patrice Bergeron. It didn't happen
No,
with Zdeno Chara. Like there was
no.
always that responsibility, and
Uh-huh.
again, um,
Just
but
I don't.
I think I think if they're going to trade Brad Marchand, it has to be a contender. I think Colorado. If I'm Colorado, I would
Mm,
definitely Brad Marchand. Again, I'm not trying
okay.
to. He's not a top six guy, in my opinion, at this point. But you get him in the third line with a little bit of depth, and you surround him with more talent. And that's the thing is, I think if Marchand's not in a great situation, because I don't think there's a ton of talent around him that fits his skill set. But if you put him on a more talented team, I think you could get like a solid middle six guy, a guy that could play second line wing, right? But probably on a
Okay.
Stanley Cup contender, be a really good third line guy,
I'm
and
gonna
who's
throw
had the
you. I'm gonna throw you a
experience.
trade. I'm gonna throw you a trade right now. Middlestad for Marchand.
Oh, I would take that in a fucking heartbeat. Like, because Middlestat he's younger,
Mm-hmm.
and you've always kind of hoped with Middlestat there's a little bit more there offensively,
Yeah, I
but
just
it
he
just doesn't
kind of was.
materialize.
He didn't. I mean, he looked great after we got him from Buffalo last year,
Hmm.
and then this year he's just kind of been non-existent. He's played a little better in the past, like 3 or 4 games,
Hmm.
but before that, it was just like he was kind of not there.
Well, and that's the interesting thing here is like Middlestat. I think there's actually definitely more there in the tank, but
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason, it's just not worked, and
Yeah.
that's fine. That happens, but
I mean,
I would
now
take I would take Middlestat for Marchand.
now if this happens tomorrow, if they trade Middlestat for Marchand, I'm just gonna fucking fall over.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start. I'm gonna. You know. You realize I'm gonna messenger you and just in all caps saying Puckstradamus. Oh, did we freeze? Uh oh. You there, brother?
Oh, now I had to hook up to my hotspot, and then the power came back on. Hopefully I can get Chief back. That was kind of crazy. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. Try to get back Chief. Join back. Please join back, Chief. So I'm gonna kind of keep this on my hotspot for now. That was kind of crazy. Make sure my audio is working. Um, let's see. Send him a link. Sorry. Uh, uh, that was weird. Uh, that was kind of. Come on. So, you know what? I hate to say it this way. I'm probably going to call it at this point. Hold on. Sorry, wind is making this a pain. Oh, hold on. You there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was I lost power.
Oh, okay. I was like, holy
Bro,
shit.
bro, like the whole street is out. I'm
What?
switching to. I'm on a hotspot right now because like the internet went down because it turned off. Um, so I'm on because make sure it's because I won't lose internet this way. Um, so yeah, I think what was I saying before? Very rudely interrupted by Mother Earth or
Yeah.
nature. So
Well,
um,
I am.
you want to call it a night?
Yeah, I think so. Sorry, you're
All right.
everything shit the bed on you. This is what an unceremonious way to end a podcast. This is fantastic. Wait, if you could add a sound effect, dude, you got to add the prices right. Bum, 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 bum.
Dude, it's like pretty sad. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Well, and I was sitting there, I thought I'd fucked something up, and I'm like, what did I do wrong? And I'm sitting there freaking out. I'm trying to rejoin the thing, and I'm like, what's going on?
No, I just lost the internet, so it's pretty shitty here right now. But I appreciate everybody kind of popping through. We're gonna probably do another show way sooner than this. Maybe if you're available the next day or so, we can do another podcast.
Saturday or Sunday, brother, I'm around.
Sounds good to me. So this is episode 8 of the No Agenda Hockey podcast. I would appreciate, though, if you guys could hit that like button before you get out of here. It helps me in the algorithm greatly. It kind of gets me bumped up, and same thing with commenting. And if you enjoy this stream and you enjoy the show and the channel overall, just share it on socials if you feel like it. But again, if you just hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you hit that like and comment button, it helps out the channel greatly. Anything you have to add before we get out of here, Chief?
No, I'm probably not going to get a lot of sleep because now I'm going to be like following Elliot Friedman's Twitter, and I'm going to get like 4 hours of sleep tonight because I'm going to be nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs right now.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
I mentioned it, and when you showed the pieces available that Dallas has, I'm not sure how they're going to make this happen.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to kind of see. I mean, Rantanen's they can make it work cap wise. I don't think they give up 2 NHL players most likely, unless it's like a throw in, right? Like somebody that's kind of a fourth liner. So I don't know. I don't see it. I think maybe you get Rope Hance, but then I think it's like draft capital back if you're able to kind of extend Rantanen long term.
Yeah.
So
I think Rupe Hintz might fit better in Carolina too than Mikko would.
Agreed. I think it could be a very good fit over there, in my personal opinion. So, but let me know your guys' thoughts down below. What do you think about the trades that have happened? What do you think about the potential topics, the topics we covered in this stream? And we're going to try to come maybe, Saturday or sometime this weekend. We'll try to come again with another
Saturday,
live show. So make sure to tune in for that. I'm going to be having probably more videos done tomorrow. I've been kind of experimenting with a different format, a little bit longer of a format for some videos, just because it makes it easier to talk about all the stuff that's going around. So make sure to check out the latest video on the channel. But I'm Captain Paul, and that's Chief, and this is the Goon Saloon. We'll see you on the next one.
No agenda. None whatsoever.
Agenda.
No power
no
either.
Agenda. Yeah, exactly. No power. Just like the Bruins, there's no power.
Wow. Dude. Brutal ending. Jeez.